Some comedian has seized upon that to like.
We're not the only people that have like. That have been like, oh, look at this douche.
No way, we're not the only people. It'll be somebody from LA probably.
Oh yeah, fucking hit it huge.
Yeah, can't wait.
Like, hey, it's a Venmo, right? Am I right?
Am I right?
These dumb fucking broads. Old Cassie put it on the back of her fucking.
Yeah, no one wants to send you money,
fucking
Cassie.
Hyundai Elantra.
They won't mind doxing somebody. I see Tom doing that to Bert. Look at his car Venmo at Bert Kreischer.
All right. Cheers and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry,
and drinking
in general.
I don't think you made it in.
I'm Paxton, and this is Clint.
We have glasses today.
So real quick before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my day. So we're back on YouTube now. So I got up this morning, went downstairs, put my fucking boxing gloves on, fucking hit the bag for about 30 minutes, did me some push-ups and some fucking kettlebell swings. I'm feeling tough. I come up here, I grab all this wood, take it downstairs and stain it with a nice mahogany stain.
Oh, yeah. It looks good.
Looks good, right?
Doesn't stink.
Doesn't stink like last time. I tried to do it up here in the closed house.
We got a little high.
Yeah, a little high. Came upstairs, cooked me a fucking ribeye, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking medium rare, fucking ribeye, some red peppers and asparagus sauteed in the juices.
Oh, you
while
got
I was
to.
letting the steak rest. And then Clint goes, hey, what do you think about Bay Breeze tonight? I was like, well, if I'm going to do my best Ron Swanson impression all day, I might as well be a fucking lady who lunches in the evening.
But we are using glasses that say
The glasses
Scotch.
say Scotch. I don't know if you can hear it through the microphone.
Thank you, Carl. This was a Father's Day gift from me and your daughter years ago. You gave away, and I took them back.
So when you were talking about Bay Breeze and Sea Breeze, I was like, well, do those things have vodka in them or do they have rum in them? You know, like I just, not trying to be like, whatever. I just didn't know because anytime anyone orders a Bay Breeze or Sea Breeze for me at work, I'm like, I'm either going to put rum in 2 juices or vodka in 2 juices.
Just going to kind of profile them and go, this is a rum guy.
Yeah, they just want it
Maurice
pink.
wants his rum in here.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Make it well rum, brother.
Yeah, put it in there. Damn.
So update from last week, and this is fucking amazing. When we got onto the Whip It talk, I've got a friend who hit me up. He was like, man, listen to this shit. I was going through the car wash. I was waiting on the fucking nice, pretty blue and pink and yellow lights come on, listening to your podcast, and I whipped out my cracker and hit a balloon. Right when you guys were talking about how fucking whippets, whippets were the dumbest shit you can do.
Yeah, he's like,
and he goes, "Fuck those guys! I'm still doing this shit." I was like, "Bro, you need to. That's the perfect.
That's perfect time to do a whippet, I think, because you can be brain dead in a car wash.
It's gonna push you through no matter what.
Yeah, you're getting out at least into the parking lot.
The car behind you, they're gonna have a very clean windshield to see in front of them, so they won't run into you if you are fished out.
Yeah, for too long there from your whippets. I mean, of all places to kind of go brain dead,
I mean, why not? And I was like, damn, because like when I used to smoke weed, man, like that was like a rite of passage.
Oh, yeah,
you get high as fuck right before you go through.
And you get in the car just doing shotguns and
whatever. Yeah, you're fucking fogging the car out while you go through. But the thing was, they didn't used to have those fucking pink and blue.
No.
And definitely not as much foam.
I think those are for kids too, because kids love going into a car wash.
I always did though, even without the colored foam. Yeah. But now it's like it's a fucking acid trip,
kids
dog.
These days, we had black and white foam. Didn't have any of that good colored foam.
And we didn't have a car. We had to walk through the fucking car.
We had a Model T. We didn't have it. We got wet as hell. There was bleach in the soap.
There was fucking bleach and turpentine in the soap. Had fucking it had the fucking polio vaccine already in it.
Put your goggles on.
They're like, oh, why are your eyes so red? It's not because I'm high. It's the bleach from the car wash, Dad.
Bleaching my eyes.
Speaking of toxic chemicals, too, I was watching YouTube the other, I watch YouTube almost every day, at least for a second. And especially now that we're back on, you should watch YouTube.
Definitely watch YouTube.
Subscribe to Paxton Eugene on YouTube, and you'll get all the From Behind the Barcast videos. If we get over 1,000 subscribers, we'll just change the name over to From Behind the Barcast. But right now, if you just look up Paxton Eugene, we're the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, we can't change the name until we get popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Help us,
please. 1,000 subscribers. That's nothing.
It's nothing. Get your mom on there. Take your grandma's phone and put it on there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She won't know.
Take your fucking little sister sister's phone, take
Yeah.
your fucking cousin Eddie's phone.
Well, not too young, maybe.
Yeah, right.
This is definitely
Just for the queens and kings above 18,
yes,
I think.
exactly for queens and kings above 18. Oh, my queen above 18.
So I was watching, and I don't pay for the premium. So there's a little commercial, and it was for a new Mountain Dew called Frostbite.
Ooh.
Only available at Walmart.
Oh, only at Walmart? That's perfect.
I was like a Walmart exclusive. I was like, look, if there's ever a real conspiracy theory that would happen, that the government would do something to its citizens,
Yeah.
they would put the fucking COVID vaccine
in
into the Mountain Dew Frostbite, only available
At Walmart?
At Walmart.
Catch that that denying crowd there.
Catch that demo.
If you're listening, Fauci.
So I didn't get a chance to make it to Walmart though, but I was like, man, we can make a fucking Frostbite cocktail somehow.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
We could
even
do
if
the
we
Dew.
just did vodka with fucking Frostbite.
Probably just have to do that. All the sugar in that Mountain Dew is.
Well, we'll do Mountain Dew Frostbite, TM, soda, and fucking vodka, and we'll call it the Barcast or something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We could.
We'll call it the COVID cocktail.
The COVID cast.
How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I had a pretty good time. I didn't work this Friday, thankfully, because I didn't have to deal with the general Friday malaise of being in a restaurant. But
Why were you off?
I work every other Friday,
Oh, right. Yeah, I was wondering.
so I don't. So
'Cause I know you don't work Saturdays because of football.
Right. Yeah.
And
So I do
it's-
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 1 week, and then this week I work Tuesday through Friday.
Gotcha.
So it balances out a little bit. It's hot right now. We're slowing down a little bit. It's not what it was a month ago, but we're doing all right.
I worked last Tuesday, and then I had a gig Friday, which was the hottest fucking day of the year so far, I think. And
Where was the gig?
At North Beach Grill.
Oh, that's a good, nice, cool outside seating
Yeah,
area
it's
there.
outside. But the thing is, they do have a canopy over top now, so that helps.
Oh yeah, are y'all in the same spot you used to be there?
Well, sort of. Like it's cornered a little bit more, but there was a little bit of a breeze coming off of the beach, so it wasn't like super.
Like a bay breeze?
Hey, cheers. But so it wasn't terrible, but I sweat my dick off no matter what. Like I'm just the sweatiest dude in the world.
Well, the drums are the most sweaty instrument, I think.
I wasn't even playing drums. I was playing cajon, which is the box that you sit on, but it's still very physical. But I played guitar too, but every time I picked it up, it was like slipping out of my fucking hands. I was like, this is great. I was like, Eric, man, you're just going to have to do
Is he
this.
playing long chords there?
Yeah.
or just-
Oh, man, he's a slide guitarist. I didn't know that. Wee. But so then I went to work Saturday expecting bedlam because, like, it's been summer where I work since fucking March. And I got to work and I walked up and I was like, I found a place to park right away.
in the lot?
In the lot.
That's
I was like,
sketchy.
I was like, well, this is okay. Did something just happen? Whatever. So I walked up and I walked into my shift. Everything with the daytime guy had everything done. I was like, what's going on, man? He was like, oh, we were just slow as shit today. I was like, oh, so you did everything you were supposed to during the day. So
Yeah.
when I came in, because I always go in 20 minutes early just in case
He's been busy and you can't get
exactly
your, yeah.
because it's not their fault if because especially up there on a weekend day during the day it'll be slow until 2:00 because no one's going out for lunch on a Saturday necessarily.
Yeah.
On the
Saturday's more
beach.
of a beach day.
Yeah, they're out throwing a fucking frisbee or flying a fucking kite or something. You know what I mean? So then starting at 3:00, they all start coming off and now they're hungry and drunk. So they get they make all their money between 3 and 5, and I get there at 5. So yeah, I was like, what the? And then the rest of the night, it was just it was the most chill. I didn't make much money, but I didn't care about it. But woke up the next day with the fucking worst chafing dish between my fucking
the
legs.
sheriff.
Literally the worst sheriff I've fucking had. Definitely this season, but this is top 5 of lifetime. Ooh. And I wasn't even walking around that much. I think it was from sitting on the cajon at fucking.
Oh, I bet that's what did it. You're holding friction in
Yeah,
there?
you're holding friction in there. You're fucking banging it underneath your little fucking ball sack there. I hit my nuts one time.
With your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, wham!
All right, see, so the thing is, hitting a cajon, to get to certain bassy spots of it, you got to, really bend over. It hurts my back and shit, and I don't have super long arms, I guess. So the distance between my shoulders and where I need to hit.
Yeah.
So I was trying to just lean back and relax my back a little bit, and I was like, balls.
Is that why they call them cajones?
And I was like, I hit my cojones with my God.
So I came out here Saturday a couple times. The first time I got a ride with Vinny, my homeboy Vinny. Thank you for the ride.
Shout out Vinny for the ride.
Yeah, Vinny was going to give me a ride in my car. I came out here Thursday night. Don't drink and drive. My car slept here Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll just get a ride to him when he goes to work on Saturday. There was not a lot of traffic. We drove straight out. And we're about to Huckapoo's. I'm like, looking for my car key. And I don't have it. I left it at home. And I went back inside to grab something else and left the car key. So I got to ride all the way to Tybee to get
to my house. And you walked in and you're like, I got to ride out here to get my car. Didn't bring my key.
So I took Vinny's car, drove it back to town, ended up getting a ride back out here later. And I was like, you can just drive my car home. It's already here. And I brought the key. I left the house with I always do a styrofoam cup to go drink with a lid and a straw. I put the key ring over the straw so I would not walk out without my key.
I do that with my bar key sometimes. Like I'll put it on top of like my fucking wallet. Or or I'll click it onto my car keys. But that same exact day when you forgot your key out here, and I was like, that's funny, man. I leave my bar key here all the time when I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Literally left
that
it.
day?
That fucking night. I literally got to work and I was like, Clint.
I rubbed my curse off on you.
Curse
so I figured out what happened to mine. So Vinny came over and was like, hey, I want to hit this bowl. And I'm like,
so
all
you're
right.
piecing this mystery together of the key.
When I came back and found the key, it was under a paper towel because the paper towel had been under the grinder. And he had moved everything when he...
Spice grinder.
Spice grinder. Spice grinder. He wanted to burn some sage. to
really cleanse the room.
Cleanse the room before he went to work. And it got moved on top of my key. And I'm not blaming him because I should have checked my pockets before I got in the car.
Oh, of course.
I've done this one other time. Flotilla. We had to go get the car because it had the air pump in it.
So Flotilla, for people who don't know, it's normally do it. Now it's like a charity thing.
I've done it a couple times.
Yeah, but we used to do it for someone's birthday, and you just float around, whatever. But you're out on Tybee, and a lot of the people that come to attend it don't live on Tybee.
Yeah, so I have a pump that I bought just for flotillas because my mom's house is across from a dock.
Like an air compressor pump.
Yeah,
Okay.
So this thing was called the Bomba de Air. I bought it because of the name.
The Bomba de Air.
I was like, Bomba de Air. I gotta have this. So
great.
it had gone to my sister's house for some reason, and I'd gotten it and put it in my car, left it on Wilmington. So my buddy Poe drives me to go get my car, and we're like almost there. No car key. So I'm gonna spin around, go back, still make it all happen in time. But we're like on the dock, like floats are going by, and we're trying not to be the last group getting in the water.
Oof.
But we made it.
We made it, man.
That's been like a decade. So if I do this in 10 years from now, then
right, yeah. If you're only doing anything dumb once a decade, I mean,
I'm pretty good with that.
You're doing okay.
Yeah.
And like, especially like, because when someone's doing you a fucking favor.
Oh yeah, yeah. And my buddy Poe is very patient, but he's not like a fast, speedy driver either. So like, we're going like on the second trip. I'm like.
Yeah,
because I kind of organized my group and everything, and I want to get there before Kevin Carpenter woke up and made it there late as always.
Right.
Kevin would like be running down the dock, or not running, kind of.
Yeah.
Fast walking down the dock,
power walking,
just drenching Crown, trying to. I made it. I'm like, all right, come on, buddy.
I used to go over to their house sometimes, and I'd be like, how do you guys keep your fucking place so clean, man? With all like y'all work all the time, and he wouldn't like he always just like. Thought like he never said anything about it. I was just like, but I would always comment because their house
was always really clean,
super fucking clean. So then finally he was like, dude, we got a cleaning lady, man. It's not us. You think we would keep our houses fucking clean?
Right? That doesn't make any sense.
And I was like, damn, you're right. So then same day that he tells me that, I opened up random fucking cabinet in his house. We were going on one of the Sunday Cafe. Part of the Sunday Cafe crew. They used to go on an annual cruise like every January.
Yeah.
And I was going one year for it. And I went over to their house after work one night because we were getting up at like 7 to drive to fucking Fort Lauderdale or wherever. And I went over there, opened a random cabinet, and I thought I accidentally took home a lot of fucking white bar rags.
Just the whole cabinet?
Literally. Like, it was like where you would put like stocks of like oats and fucking cereals in a doomsday bunker. There was literally 1,000 bar rags that they were cleanly just politely folded neatly, stuck them in there, and then never got touched again. They just kept
adding to it.
I mean, there must have been literally like 3 orders worth for an entire restaurant.
Bar rags. Oh, that's one of the perks about working at a restaurant. You get free bar rag. Borrow, take them back.
We'll see. Once I get like 25, I'll take like 10 back.
Yeah.
But I use the fuck out of them.
Yeah, they're very handy.
Instead of using, paper towels, like that's not my little contribution to the trees, man?
Yeah. Thank you, bar rags, for saving trees.
You know what I'm saying? And then
bar rags for trees.
And then I use the nice fucking Myers cleaning solutions. I'm trying to do something for the fucking
do the wood
world.
right here. Got to get the Myers on the wood. Speaking of Kevin, I went to his house one time. We were looking for something, and I opened a cabinet in his laundry room, and there is 14 bottles of one Syrah in there that I knew was a very good Syrah. And I was like, what are you doing with all this? Like, why is it over here? He's like, oh, I forgot I bought that. And I'm like, Well, it's got, it was like a 2006, and this was in 2014 or 12 or something. Whatever it was, I was like, this is getting near time. You need to start opening one or two to make sure they're good, because they weren't.
Oh, because
you store wine flat, and this was all sitting upright. So you want to keep the cork moist, or the wine will go bad.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's why you store wine flat. Wine stores at like a 35-degree angle.
I always see them, at least like vertical.
At least vertical, if not a little bit of angle.
Horizontal?
Horizontal.
Yeah, at least horizontal.
Not vertical, horizontal.
Yeah, at least always see them horizontal. Look at us.
Yeah. I had to do the thing when you were a kid and you draw the horizon. Like horizon.
Horizon.
But I was like, what are you doing with these? He's like, I don't know, you can just have them. I'm like, no, these are like $55 a piece.
Yeah.
He's like, I think we got them for free. I don't want them because him and AJ don't really drink wine.
So you thought that he had this one Syrah because he was like, this is the best year
Yeah,
they
and
ever
I was like, oh, do you love this? I love
best
this
year they
wine
ever
too.
made, yeah.
And he was like, no,
Best
I have 'em.
vintage
I was like, why are they in your
2006?
laundry room? Like, you should not store wine in the hot room.
Yeah.
You want like my wine quote cellar is in my closet, the darkest, coolest part of my house.
Yeah.
So that's where they are, in the back part of the closet.
Yeah, that seems pretty commonsensical.
Yeah, because we don't have for those of you that don't live in Savannah or have never been near the ocean, we don't have basements here.
Yeah.
Our water table is pretty high.
And you have to put rice in all the salt.
Yeah.
Lest it turn into a big salt rock.
Yeah, and then you're not getting any salt.
Then
out of
there's
there.
no salt
It'll look
coming
like the
out of
drinks
the
I
thing.
made a few weeks ago, just caked up on there.
No, they weren't caked up on mine because I ate it all and had a fucking.
So you weren't busy Saturday night? I got there late.
Not at all.
Because I went to the.
You got there. I was already closed. Well,
Yeah.
I was closing when you got there. And that
I
was
know.
Like
I was like
12:30.
trying to knock on the door. I'm like, he can't hear shit I'm doing here.
no.
And Mike's like, I'll go let you in. I'm like, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, but see, like people not when I worked the outside bar and I closed that door, like people knock on that shit all the fucking time.
And you just ignore it.
Yeah, I ignore
You can't hear someone going, "Hey, it's me."
It doesn't matter what you say. It's
Yeah.
like it's like
I was yelling Celsius and Fahrenheit. But that still could have been anybody.
it still could have been anybody. They're like Tito's and vodka.
Shout out
please.
to Eric Dunn's dumbass, who when I'm in the middle of telling him that story goes Celsius and Fahrenheit. While I'm telling him,
Before you could get to the.
before I could get to that part, he interrupts me to say that, and I'm like, "You said you listened to the whole podcast." He's like, "I skipped that part, I guess." I'm like, "You interrupted me to do the same dumb shit." And I feel like Eric Dunn's pretty well traveled.
And the thing is, you were telling me he was like, man, I'm glad you keep Paxton in line on the
Yeah,
podcast.
he said, I keep you organized.
He
I'm
likes
like,
to
what are you
talk
talking
over
about?
people. And Clem's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then you try and tell him the story, and he interrupts you.
Yes, talks over me to tell me this shit, and I'm like, Eric, this hopefully is your last shout out in the next week, because if there's a secret shout out you may be getting next week.
I hope we don't have to do that shout out next week.
I really do too. I'll know. I'm going tomorrow.
I was on Bartending Memes Unfiltered. It's a Facebook group that I'm a part of.
That your Darren last week was on there, right? Scott.
Oh yeah. Did
you ever hear back from Scott?
No. Well,
we should invite him on the podcast.
the thing is, like, I don't even know why he was in the fucking group any fucking ways. Because he like, I don't know
there's a lot of rabble rousers on Facebook that like to get into other stuff.
I understand fucking poking the bear a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I like to troll a little bit, but like this dude was just like, you could just tell he was just a fucking garbage
The
dude.
Georgia sports pages on Facebook.
Oh, I bet
there'll be
that's
Gators fans and stuff on there. They're like, "This is bullshit." I'm
I
like,
bet that's a fucking cesspool of.
I can't. I have
fucking
had to unfollow.
Yeah.
I'll look at the article. No comments are getting looked at. Like, one of your friends will make a comment, so their comment will be there, and I'm like, why are you engaging these people? Like, you don't know them. I hardly want to engage half my friends, let alone strangers.
I know, but the thing is, like, sometimes there's certain things that are so just fucking like. They cut you in some sort of way. You're like, I could destroy this fucking dude.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
whatever. And then you start, and then you're like, why the fuck did, like, this is feeding this fucking person.
I got blocked by a random guy the other day for.
That's good. That feels good.
It was someone posted a Tucker Carlson article as being factual information, and if you're not aware of who Tucker Carlson is, he's not factual anything. He had to come out and admit
He wears
that
cool bow ties.
that his show is for entertainment purposes only and not a real news show.
Yeah.
And so the girl had posted the Tucker
Every
Carlson
news
article.
show's not a
So I
real
just hit it
fucking
with the
news
laugh emoji, and the dude was like, "Why do you think this is funny?" He called me out, and I'm like, "Because it's funny. Because it's not true. This guy is full of crap." And he got like uber irritated with me in like a long paragraph, and I was like, Tucker Carlson is full of shit. And the guy then he blocked me, and then she
sucks
blocked me
ponies'
too.
dicks.
But
Oh,
like,
nice.
I'm
Yeah,
okay with her
whatever.
blocking me. I was like, all right, one less friend.
Look,
Look, I'd be
shucks,
I'd be
man.
shedding them all the time. I'm like,
You know what's weird though? I've been accepting. I've been doing things a little differently online lately.
this is making me be nicer.
Yeah, just because I'm like, what if this person just happens to want to fight? Like want to listen.
God, it makes me be nicer because of
I
that,
know,
too.
man. It's like bumpers at the fucking at the bowling alley.
Right.
It's
when we get
kinda,
1,000 subscribers on YouTube,
we're
we'll
done.
be mean again.
Once we hit 1,000, fucking back on, motherfucker.
Back on, Eric Dumb, we're coming for you.
We're gonna tell that fucking story about you, buddy. But So I'm on this, bartending memes, unfiltered, whatever. I'm only on a few of them. You know what I mean? Like especially bartending pages, because like typically, like even though we do a podcast about bartending, like the normal shit that people talk about when they talk about bartending is like very uninteresting to me for whatever reason, because it's normally like, hey, who's in fucking Tulsa drinking this? You know what I mean?
Man, my boss told me about that. There's like people who go on there and be like, I'm in this town doing this. What should I drink? Which makes sense,
Cool, whatever. But like, I'm here. I don't know.
If you want someone's advice on where to go, though, a bartender is a good person to ask.
100%, yeah. Because like I had after our gig on Friday, these people had came up because the kitchen had closed at the place that I was playing at, like super early for some fucking reason. So they were like, hey, were you just in the band? I was like, yeah. She was like, where should we go for more live music? And I was like, I got you. You asked literally the right person. Now, of course, I sent them to Huckapoo's because, but we had we were probably the only place that had like an actual band that night.
On Friday night?
This Friday. I know other places have like bands and shit, but it's like some dude with a fucking iPod and a fucking black Squire Stratocaster fucking
playing the
Take
Eagles.
Me away again and fuck your mamaville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I'll be also Monday I'll be at the farmer's market.
Say what?
Monday he'll be at the farmer's market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Monday I'll be doing wagon wheel at the fucking farmer's market, spitting at children.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so there's this guy on the page. He goes, "Listen to this shit," and this is like the best fucking. I mean, it was just a like tiny paragraph. Obviously, it's just a fucking Facebook post. He was like, "I got fired from my bartending job because I didn't have my birthday party up there because all of my friends hate my manager. Oh, so they wouldn't come up there. So we went to another bar to have my birthday party." And the people that he works for found out
and got mad and fired him. What kind of petty shit is that?
And maybe he's lucky he got fucking fired, because if you work for someone that your friends don't want to be around,
that's bad.
Especially like he probably could have got like all of his like everything free for himself, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But like even with his friend, like his friends would have gotten hooked up in some sort of
way, right? Like the drinks would have been stronger. It has to be really, really bad.
That must have hit that manager lady so hard. She was like, "Are you fucking serious? His fucking friend, fuck him. He's fired."
Oh yeah, that's a Karen right there.
Think about that, man.
God, that's wild.
Imagine that, getting fired for not having your birthday party.
I've had places where I've worked at like I don't get a lot of my friends coming in circa to my side to hang out. I'm not a hangout spot for. I don't work at the bar.
Yeah, you're not
I'm on the floor, so you want to have a nice dinner, and it's a little pricey to be in there, so I get it, and I don't really hold a lot of umbrage for that. But like when I worked at Lily's, like it's a 7-seat bar, like you don't come in there and have 7 drinks.
Time to do some shots.
Yeah, you're not doing Jaeger bombs.
Yeah,
at Lily's at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Looking at a tiny fucking 4-inch TV, in the corner.
God. Can't read the TV sometimes.
But I mean, so if I didn't have if I was having a birthday at a bar, and I didn't do it at my own bar, where I work, people would be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Well, I feel like you could do it at the grill, and then you would go to your bar.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I'd fucking end up there probably.
That's the end of most. If your birthday and you're from Tybee,
somewhere on Tybee,
you're going to end up Huckapoo's.
And see, we always get the last.
Yeah. Oh,
we always get the drunkest,
which is the worst part.
It's
usually.
the worst. It's like being at the end of the Human Centipede. Like the middle's bad.
Yeah.
Front's bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
Yeah, it's all bad. But the end is the worst part.
Asparagus and cuttlefish at the end, motherfucker. Man. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. But so like imagine like I'm just hoping, and number one, I'm fucking happy for the dude.
Yeah, because that job sucked.
Like it had to. If your friends don't like if they won't come to a party at your place because
for your birthday, not for like another friend's birthday.
At least he was dope enough to be like, yeah, I know, fucking Linda's a bitch.
Yeah, she's the worst.
Let's go to fucking Spooner's down the corner.
Well, it's like the Crab Shack. Like a lot of people that work there don't hang out there because it's.
Well, it's not. That's not a hangout place either, though. You know
yeah, I mean, if you're coming off a boat, maybe.
If you live in so where it is in that neighborhood, you know what I mean. Like so on Tybee, there's like it's basically Tybee and then Chimney Creek.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a stretch. You can't. You don't want to ride a bike.
It's not really a bike riding thing.
Yeah.
Or jogging. Like I keep seeing this lady jogging every night when I'm coming out here on Monday. She has like a full vest of lights on.
Well, at least she has that.
Yeah.
At least she's being fucking safe.
It was raining tonight. She was getting it out there.
Hey man, you fucking get. See, I thought I was gonna fucking be pouring a little bit harder tonight.
Did you get the massive thunder earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my dog is terrified of thunder and lightning, so I got to put the little thunder.
You have the thunder vest?
I got it last week, and
really,
so I didn't leave it on him when I left because I don't want him to do something and hurt himself with it. But
he could choke out. Yeah, he could choke
because it's real tight around the chest. So if he got that slide off, whatever. Yeah. So I was in the shed working out and it started thundering. So I went inside and I put it on him, and he was like, "Oh, thank God!" So it kind of gives him that feeling of closeness.
That's like Temple Grandin. You ever heard of her or seen her?
Mm-mm.
So she's autistic, but she worked on farms and shit, and she innovated a lot of the new farm equipment that make cows less stressed,
less freaking out. Okay.
She would make them. She would guide them into circles instead of trying to walk them in straight lines. They had trouble going down ramps, so she made the ramps less pitchy.
Oh, nice.
She also made a thing that they put she didn't invent this, but they put the cows in these things that it was like a metal
vest,
Thunder Buddy vest when they would, change their ear tags out or some shit
Something
like
to keep
that.
them from being freaked out.
She built one for herself.
Okay.
Like a human cow Thunder Buddy.
Interesting.
And if she felt stressed out or whatever,
she just throw that vest on and.
Well, she would get inside the contraption. She didn't use a vest. She only used what she had seen on the farm, which was these giant ones that they put the cows in.
Whoa.
But she was like literally Temple Grandin. She's a super interesting lady. Like she innovated like 90% of anything that makes workflow at a farm with any livestock, like sheep, fucking.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because she, she's the savant, whatever. So she saw patterns, and she'd be like, Claire Danes played her in the HBO movie.
Okay.
She'd be like, they don't want to go down there like that. That's too much.
So she was country
She was country. She's from like Oklahoma, whatever, and but she saw these patterns. She's like, they'd rather run in a circle.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Cows can't walk downstairs because their legs hinge the opposite way that humans do, or whatever, right?
So they have a very hard time coming down ramps. That makes sense though.
So they have to make I'm
incredibly intrigued. Let's put the podcast on and watch this.
Temple Grandin.
What was the movie on HBO called?
Temple Grandin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's like
Temple
Temple
for that name,
spelled normally, and then Grandin like Grandin. But yeah, like I'm trying not to do an impression of an autistic person, but it's fucking
it's really hard not
but
to.
Claire Danes fucking like killed that shit.
Yeah, so my dog, I put
you put the vest
put
on.
the little vest on him. He's like,
and it works.
Yeah. This is the second time I put it on him.
Is it weighted?
No, it just squeezes him pretty good. Because like otherwise, he has his own little couch, and like if it's thundering, I'll get him to lay on the couch, and I'll lay on him, and he loves that because he's like just feels secure because I'm on top of him.
Right.
And so cause he's 115 pounds, so I can lay on him, not kill him. So I get the vest on him. It's been thundering and lightning, so I turn the TV on like a soothing station for him and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna switch. I'm now back in the house, so I'm gonna switch it from that to Sports Center. And in the 3 seconds that there's no TV sound, the thunder shook the house. I jumped.
Yeah,
I had to put on my Thunder Buddy vest. Yeah. And then I get a text from Vinny, who lives a half a mile from me. He's like, did you hear that one? And I'm like, yeah, my dog almost shit in his pants. Or his vest, not really shit in his pants.
Dooley almost shit in his Thunder Buddy
He's got
vest.
thunder pants.
Temple, I got to do it. She goes, it feels like someone's giving you a hug when you don't like getting a hug. It's like a hug from a machine.
I like that you tried. You made it about 2 minutes of holding it in, and you're like, well, no, you're imitating Claire Danes. Claire Danes is the danger one.
Yeah, I'm fucking imitating Temple Grandin. I mean Claire Danes.
You guys want to? God damn! If you guys want to dox anybody, go after Claire Danes.
Canceled.
She's not doing anything else, anyways.
Oh, that little gaff. We're gonna take our first break. We need a new drink.
Go back by the bay. No, it's like you're trying to kill a fly.
Like the chopsticks on fucking Karate Kid.
Oh man, I tried that so many times.
Who didn't try that?
I couldn't use chopsticks then either. So I was like,
hey, remember the Nintendo game? That was one of the side games.
In the Karate Kid,
in the Karate Kid
I
Nintendo game,
that.
you had to try and catch
move around the screen.
Yeah,
it was
try and
so
catch the fly
annoying.
with the fucking chopsticks, and then you had to fucking crane kick the swinging thing. Man,
yeah.
I've never fucking beat that. Well, thanks for joining us back here on From Behind the Nintendo Cast. Clinton Paxton here. You can find us on social medias at From Behind the Barcast on Instagram, From Behind the Barcast on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's under Paxton Eugene. We're on Google. We're on all the
Spotify,
services. Just search
Apple.
From Behind the Barcast.
And if you're having trouble downloading or need some help, you can go to our Instagram page, and there is a video saved of how to download it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Google.
And we'll put all the links up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube.
Please watch on YouTube.
Because I had someone, they were like, make your video shareable. I was like, just go to the Instagram And they were like, "Where is it?" I was like, "Well, it's at the bottom there."
Yeah. It's amazing that technology has escaped so many
But
times.
we engage on social media, and our boy, shit, I didn't write his name. I think it's Ben. He goes, we were like, "What's your Venmo?" $1 purchase.
Oh, yeah,
and he
yeah.
goes, Plan B reimbursement.
Plan
I was
B
like, that
reimbursement.
is the best. I was like, man, that is so much better than dry hand job.
Oh yeah. That's so. I had a discussion about this at work this week about the Venmo thing.
Sure,
Just bring
sure.
it up. Have y'all seen this? Whatever. And I'd engaged with the table that wasn't my table a couple times because they're just fun and they were nearby my table, so I talked to them a few times. Probably a little bit younger than us. Just the women were boisterous. The guys were real fun, so I just kept talking to them. Well, unbeknownst to me, she's in the bathroom in our little server area. There's 2 bathrooms, still marked men and women for whatever reason, weeks later.
Yeah.
But I'm discussing the Venmo thing, and I'm like, yeah, you can donate $1 for a dry hand job. And she comes out the bathroom behind me and goes, if you'd paid more than $1, I'd have done a better job. And I was frozen in terror for a second until I looked up and saw who it was and was like, oh, God, she's cool. She's not going to say anything. Because that's not what I need at work is somebody being like.
But you're like, that is a fantastic fucking
It was
joke.
a great answer. A great
But I'm
answer.
scared of you in this fine dining restaurant
Yeah,
talking
being
about
like, hey, this server wasn't mine.
God. Yeah, because you don't expect to hear that from the fucking...
No, because I just heard it from behind me and I was like, oh no, is this how I get fired? A dry hand job?
I do fucking 4 little podcasts, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden I'm talking about dry hand
I
jobs.
know. I'm not getting a lot of listens from my coworkers, and I'm kind of like, you know what? Just wait a little bit, let it flesh out some. Let me get some of these.
Well, I've had a lot of people be like, "Hey, man, finally listened to your podcast. It was way more entertaining than I thought it would be."
Yeah,
like, thanks for the compliment.
Thanks for the confidence in me not being, We have a shout out to Justin Hodges who likes our podcast but wants to play it at 1.5 speed. Now he talks as fast as I do. And told me, he was like, I loved it, but I had to listen to it at 1.5 speed. And I'm like, I can't imagine what I sound like.
Yeah,
sped
I
up
mean-
by 50%. He said he listens to Rogan at 2 times speed. So he can get more done.
Yeah, just cram more
Just
in.
cram more
I
stuff
get it.
in. I'm like, but damn, like.
But see, I find myself rewinding so many podcasts
Yeah.
because I'm running around the house doing shit or
Exactly.
driving
I'll
or
miss
whatever.
something
I get
and be like,
distracted.
I need to back up a little bit.
Well, I use Apple mostly, but they have the 15-second back
Which is the
button
best. I love that button.
And you can, on podcasts that do like separate reads for their advertisements,
just jump all those ads.
2 30-second hits and you're done. You
Yeah.
know? Except for like Bill Burr, I listen to all of
Or
those.
on Rogan, if you back up too far, you'll hit an ad again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Spotify's figured out with his to like.
Well, because they're paying the shit out of them, so
yeah,
it's like they gotta,
Yes, they used to be at the beginning, and there'll be one in the middle. Now they're
They're a
scattered
little more
throughout.
interspersed. Yeah, because I was listening to the Greg Fitzsimmons one today.
I love some Greg Fitzsimmons.
Man, he's funny as shit. And when he got a tattoo
At 50?
at 55 or whatever. He's like, "Did you do that to yourself, man?"
I didn't know he lived next door to the guy that wrote Chaos, like twice. He talked about that.
Tom, whatever.
Yeah, Tom O'Neill.
I listened to that book after that.
I did. I listened to and read.
Yeah.
Just depending on what I was doing. It was a great book.
It's fucking crazy how and I think the Unabomber was in the same MK Ultra.
Was he?
Test too?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd like to know about
Yeah.
that. This guy spent 20 years writing this book. It's crazy about the Manson family and the
It's
CIA.
called Chaos. Tom O'Neill. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great book. Shout out to Tom O'Neill.
Shout out Tom O'Neill. I know you're listening.
I'll tag you in the post, Tom. It's
So,
fine.
I had that nice ribeye today, trying to be manly, staining all this wood. Now we're drinking fucking Bay Breezes, but
gotta balance out your testosterone.
but
with
last
a little
week
Babe
you only
Ruth.
got one patty on your Five Guys burger.
one patty at Five Guys, and as I said, they refunded my money and my last.
And they did, yeah. You said they completely
the whole
refunded
thing.
your money. Yeah.
So my father heard the podcast and got a taste for Five Guys, and so he went to Five Guys yesterday, and said, went to Five Guys, ordered online, decided to eat in the store, opened up my Five Guys burger, and I have 3 patties on my burger, and I'm like. You're shitting me. I guess they saw the last name.
Saw the last
and were
name,
like,
and they're
we'll
like,
give this guy an extra patty.
3 patties.
And he's like, I almost brought you the patty. I'm like, you're going to pull it out like all drenched in whatever. And
Oh, that would have been fucking classic, dude.
Hey, check your mailbox. There's a gift for you. It's just a patty sitting
A
there.
dripping wet fucking
wet
patty.
little Cajun seasoning on
There's
top.
like 2 flecks of the cheese that was on.
Yeah. I'm like, damn it, Dad, you don't need an extra patty. I do.
I wonder how many kings there are in this fucking town, and they're like, "Oh, that's got to be the same guy."
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
give him a third
let's
patty.
throw this guy a third patty. He looks, and he'll come in and be happy about it. Because I'm sure the guy mentioned it to him. But damn.
And for the past 4 weeks,
You're welcome, Carl.
so we record on Monday nights, and there's a place down here called the Quarter, and they have like the best and only wings down here.
And we've talked about them before having.
We talked about, yeah. So they've never been out of anything for more than like 10 seconds probably.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, in our life, 20 years.
Yeah, as long as I remember going there in my adult life, they've never, literally, like, I've never called and they've been out of, man, they might have been out of, like, fucking egg rolls or something.
Yeah, but not wings.
Not wings, because wings are, like, what keep them, like, that's, like, I would imagine it's probably, like, 40% of their business.
It's got to be.
Purely fucking wings of their food business. So the last 4 weeks, every Monday evening after we get done with the podcast, Clint calls.
I call and I ask, and then
nothing. Actually, so this is week 5 now.
Yeah, this is week 6, isn't it?
No, this is week 5.
Yeah, week 5.
Yeah. So after we're done with the podcast, we're going to call. We're going to call again just to see, because this is a crazy anomaly. And
I mean, yeah, and I'm not even craving wings, but I'll have to eat them when they have them.
Just the moment that they have them, I'm like, is there a chicken shortage in the world? Because like at work, we haven't had Coronas, Corona Lights, Corona Premiers. We even ran out of fucking Dos Equis. Like we're like all
Mexican beers.
All of our Mexican
right
beers
now
are fucking done, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's like literal like supply issues or something.
I wonder if Corona slowed down their supply because of the coronavirus kind of tainting their name. And so then they slowed down production, and now
it's ramping.
Now they
back
got that
up.
Snoop Dogg advertisement. And they're going.
You guys only have like Coors Light and something
We keep
else?
Corona Light because we have a regular. This couple has had dinner in the dining room over 250 times. Not to mention they come in like every other week and sit at the bar. So
that's someone's like 401k right there.
Yeah, they're
probably that many times.
They probably are like one of our most busy regulars, and they come in. She drinks Corona Light, so we have Corona Light.
Sure, yeah.
We don't have regular Corona, just Corona Light for her.
We used to keep Miller 55s or no, whatever the 55. All right, so there's 64. There's like
yeah.
And then there's whoever made the 55s. We used to keep just a 12-pack in there for one dude.
For one dude?
Yeah. And the first like 4 years that I worked there. And he was the only person that drank them, but he drank all 12. Like every week or whatever.
Right. Hey, there you go. If you had a good regular, you got to support them with something.
You got to take care of them. And like, so we used to have some people come in and they'd be like, what kind of scotch do you have? And I'm like, well, we have 2. We have Dewar's.
Oh, yeah.
And we have Old Smuggler or whatever the equivalent of Old Smuggler is. This dude, he will only drink the Old Smuggler, which is like $4 a bottle. And if we're out of Old Smuggler and we have a different like rail brand, he's like, no, it's not Old Smuggler. I'm like, no. He's like, I don't want it. I'm like, well, I'll give you Dewar's for the well price. He's like, no.
It's not about my father drinks famous grouse scotch. He'll drink Dewar's in a pinch, but he's been drinking it for a long time. So my sister and I tried to buy him like nice bottles.
Where on the
holidays.
Hierarchy of scotches would you say famous grouse is? Because I'm
absolute level. I mean, it's
right mid-tier.
It's a second tier scotch. It's like Dewar's. It's on the same tier,
sure.
But he just likes that specific one. And
you like what you like. I get that.
Yeah, but like you can't substitute. Even if you gave him the same price, Johnny Walker Blue, he's like, it's not as good. It's not his flavor, which is
right.
If you like what you like.
I like Basil Hayden, and it's not the most expensive bourbon, but I've had like lots of other more expensive bourbons, and I'm just like, well, Basil Hayden and Bullet are still my favorite.
I'll do a Sea Breeze, but I don't like a Bay Breeze really.
If I had my druthers.
So reason we're doing this drink is because I had this nice cranberry juice, the real OG cranberry juice, like it's just real cranberry, not the concentrate, not the cocktail. And so I was looking at cranberry cocktails and was like, I don't think Passion's going to want to do a Cosmo. Because that was like the first one I saw. I'm like, it'll be funny, but also like, I don't want to get super lit either if we have 3 Cosmos.
Oh, because Cosmo's pretty much like.
Yeah, like it's triple sec vodka, cranberry juice, and lime juice. So it's a martini.
And this fucking cranberry ain't got no sugar in it. So we just be fucking getting straight alcohol hit.
Straight alcohol hit.
And I was like, once she told me what we were drinking, I was like, this is the perfect fucking thing for the intro, because I literally been like punching a heavy bag,
staining wood,
eating fucking ribeyes
with my hands. It's
I'm
just
such
the most
a man.
manly day.
Now we're drinking Bay Breeze and talking about fucking Temple Grandin.
When we do our Sex in the City episode, we'll do Cosmos. When we have Kim Cattrall on, we could, kind of make an exception for the certain.
Kim Cattrall, who was in both of our coming of age sexual movies, Porky's one.
Porky's.
Oh man, HBO back in the fucking 80s when you're a fucking.
If you showed me a picture of an eyeball looking through a wall, I'm like,
for real.
The bathroom thing was like such a.
That was my awakening. That's when I learned what a bush was.
Yeah, not the beer.
Not the beer, no. Which people ask us for all the time.
Yeah, really, Bush beer.
Bush, yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that we don't have that like we get asked more for than anything.
Bush.
Like you would think people would be like, oh, do you have this type of vodka, or do you have this type of Bush. And literally half the time it's not like people you would think would ask for Bush.
They're like, hey, man, you got a Bush?
You would think that 90% of them
Yeah.
would sound like that. Some people are like, you guys just don't have like Bush Light or anything like that. I was like, I mean, we have like Bud Light, Miller Light,
Yeah.
Ultra, whatever.
That's a very odd,
that strange?
specific taste beer. Like, I know people that drink, PBRs are exclusive go-to and
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
but like Bush, that's an interesting one.
PBR turned from a $2 16-ounce jug of beer that like was the everyman's thing to where like people drank it for so long because it was cheap. Now like they have a taste for it.
Oh, yeah, now that's their thing.
And now like anything else tastes weird to them,
Yeah, I'm not an anti-PBR guy, but,
But
if it's there,
but see, like down here, fucking a 16-ounce can of any goddamn thing, no matter how fast you drink it,
it's going to get
it's
hot.
gonna get pretty hot. And
Unless
fucking
you're doing
flat
it in
anyway.
December.
Yeah.
And then
But even then,
eggnog.
every time your hand, like there's so much surface area on that fucking giant can.
Yeah.
Even every time your hand touches it, it's putting warmth onto it.
Yeah, so moist. And, you don't have not passing out koozies at Huckapoo's.
And I try to whenever I can, you know what I mean? But like, there's only so many I can fucking hand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't
North
care
Beach
about
Grill
that,
used to have the big koozies
Yeah,
for
they
the
have
red stripe.
Yeah.
Oh, those were dope.
I
used them for bottles of vodka, though.
The Rail had the fucking 40-ounce koozies.
Yeah, those were dope, too.
Yeah. They were like the pullover koozie
Have
style.
you ever done Edward 40 hands?
No, I never went to college.
One time.
Uh-huh.
Did it at my friend Richard's house. And I had the ultimate idea of how to, because the problem is
The thing is, you got to pee, right? Is that the thing?
So that's what I figured out. Sorry, Charlotte, for this story. So you tape 240s to your hands. You have to drink them both before you can take either one of them off.
Right.
So
yeah.
the idea is to like alternate because they're going to get hot, like you said, they're going to get hot.
Oh, and they're strapped to
And
your
they're
hands.
duct
Yeah.
taped to your hands. So we were at my buddy Richard's house, and I'm like, let's leave the back door cracked because you have to go outside to pee. So we knew this was coming a couple of days out, so I wore like an extra long T-shirt, unzip fly, pull dick out, cover it
You
with
could
shirt.
do it with
No, before.
Oh, before you started.
Before I started. So when I had to pee,
Look at you.
I'd get up and just kind of hold my shirt down, walk outside,
You're an innovator, like
and then
Temple Grandin.
was it exactly? I'm the Temple Grandin.
You're the Temple Grandin of Edward 40
hands, and it worked. I did not win Edward 40 hands, but
How do you want? Does anyone win?
the guy that has to pee the most first, he starts chugging beer. The only person that wins was the person that wasn't playing, which is his girlfriend at the time, who strapped us into the.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you don't want your buddy tying your hand down. 'Cause you got
Right, yeah,
18
yeah.
acres of freaking.
Yeah,
duct tape.
I mean they're gonna go hard on you. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that much duct tape on your body.
See, when I was growing up, there was a guy. His name was Aaron, and he was a couple years older than me. And it was down in Brunswick, St. Simons area. And there was only one band that ever came out of there that ever did anything, and he was in it. They were called Third Rail. He was the bass player, and they used to practice in this not a shipping container, but like a loading dock. So it was like where you pull like 16-wheelers up to, like in the back of a Walmart or something like that.
Oh yeah, with like the little like high up part.
It's pretty high up, right? So there's this 3-bay of those downtown Brunswick, and they rented one to practice in because at night
the third one.
Yeah, they get exactly because no one was ever fucking there. So he was going up into the fucking thing, and he had a 40 in his hand, and he slipped and fell, and he slammed the 40. On it. He was holding it in his left hand, which is his fretting hand, and it literally severed like everything that connected his fingers to his arm.
Oh my god!
On his fucking hand.
What kind of 40 was it?
It was an Ice House.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
this for 100% sure because that's what he drank. So he healed after like literally he couldn't play probably a year and a half. It's like 6 surgeries. So this is like 1995 or 6 or something like that when I was living down there. So this is before I'd ever heard of anything. I mean, maybe Edward 40 Hands wasn't even invented at that point.
I think Edward was underage then.
Right. I think so. So whenever I heard of people strapping those things to their hands, I was
That's
like,
what you thought of immediately?
Immediately, I was like, if you trip and fall, man, like you're not going to play bass ever again. I don't even know if you're a fucking bass player.
I know. We sat on a couch and just watched TV, and we're trying to.
Right. But see, I figured it was like frat house thing where you're walking around, like people are like making you go outside and they're fucking like, hey, pick up my keys or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're out there trying to do it with your toes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I can't. We did it that one time, and like they tried to do it again. I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this again. I don't drink beer.
What kind of 40s
to
are they?
drink 80 ounces of Miller High Life
Before they leave your body.
Yeah, is not good.
I drink I don't drink beer a lot, but if I drink 2 beers, I'm in the toilet fucking 5 times.
Yeah, that's a lot of alcohol.
I can drink the same amount of like juice and liquor and not have to pee as much as like beer just like rolls straight.
Especially like a cheap beer too.
Yeah.
It's
and if I drink enough beer to get drunk, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's
when you don't want the end of those 240s and they're warm as hell.
And what if could you smoke cigarettes while you're doing it?
No.
Because when I drink, I smoke.
That's exactly. When I drink, I want to smoke, and there was no smoking going on. Now, as soon as it was over, like as soon as the guy won, I was like, "Get this out of my hand." I'm like, "Second place." I'm like, last place. Last place.
I
want to zip up my fly and go outside and have a cigarette.
I want to put my dick back in my pants and not hide it under my shirt.
Because that's not,
go out and smoke a cigarette.
Because I didn't pee on myself, but that shirt got a little pee on. Trying to shake it off.
Yeah, that's like fucking. You got poo coming out of your butt. And you got to do a little wiggle. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, you trying to get it out of there.
You're like, Dick, get back in there, man.
Yeah, well, I got the bidet, so I had to knock it off with that.
And if someone just came over and just even bumped into you and like your shirt lifted up a little bit, you're like hey, joke's on you, right?
It's freezing in here. I'm sorry,
Edward 40 Dick. Well, you know what we do normally when we come back after
it's the
break.
Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Oh shit. We're pretty. We don't hear the jingle.
No, we don't at all.
We don't hear the jingle while we're recording it, but it's so ingrained in my head at this point that I'm pretty sure.
You got it.
And I don't have to edit it very much to make it line up.
I had never seen the graphic you put up.
Oh, you've never seen the Karen mask?
The Karen mask?
Yeah, it's like the Karen Halloween mask.
So the last one was a Darren mask, or was it just a?
No, that's Karen. Yeah, that's the only one I've ever used. Yeah,
Karen looked like a dude.
Karen like a dude. Yeah.
So you're Karen this week.
I have a Darren this week.
Darren this week.
So, all right, just like yours 2 weeks ago, mine was a turnaround.
Okay.
So it's interesting because, all right, Darren of the week. Friday, I have a gig. I'm playing the gig, and like I said, I was playing the cajon. And the cajon, just like most other percussion instruments, like a djembe or congas or bongos or anything that you
I've never heard
hit,
of that first one. You could have just made it up.
everyone thinks they can fucking play it. Because they're like, oh, it's just the fucking congas. You know what I mean? Like, everyone thinks they can play some kind of percussion instrument no matter what, right? So we're outside of North Beach, and the guy that I was playing with put on that we started at 7, but we actually started at 6.
Oh,
so
nice.
from like 6 to 7, like we got like fucking 6 people there that just happened to be there eating fucking dinner or whatever. I didn't really mind though, because like it was so hot, and I was like, I wasn't in a bad mood. I wasn't hungover or anything, but I was just like, I wasn't literally warmed up yet, even though I was hot as fuck. Like I just So this group of guys come in, and it's 5 dudes. And they're all dressed like they just came from a Georgia Southern football game. Or add this to your town, but they're all like in their mid-30s. So it's like golf, dry fit style shirts.
Okay, was the ones with the flap in the back?
No. Those are the fishing shirts.
Those are the fishing shirts, that's right.
I'm talking about the collared, like golf-looking shirts. 3 of them had on cargo shorts.
Ooh,
and like Skechers. They look kind of like dads, but they weren't dads. You know what I mean?
Sunglasses on backwards.
So two of the guys had them on the back of their neck.
Yeah, okay.
And actually one was looking for his when he was leaving. Then the other guy was like, "Hey, Darren, it's on your fucking neck." He's like, "Oh, you're right, bro." But so the biggest guy out of all of them, he walks up and he's like, cajon, nice, man. I was like, "Hey, yeah, cool, whatever." He goes, "I want to play that thing." I was like, he goes, $20, and he puts $20 in the tip jar. I was like, "Thanks, man." He's like, $20. I want to play that thing. I was like, I'm playing. I can't even like do my like hand gestures. So I'm like, so I'm hitting. We play the next song. He turns the seat around. He's like literally right in front of us at the bar. He turns the seat around, and for the next 2 songs, he just fucking stares into my eyes, basically. So I'm playing.
I want to touch your cojones.
And anytime I look up, like literally, it's like, like it was like you looking at me through the fucking mic thing.
Yeah.
For the whole first half of this episode, and I was just like, yeah. So I was like, luckily they came in when we were on our last 2 or 3 songs before we took a break. So I was like, one more, we're going to take a break. So we took a break, and I get up, and the dude's like, "What's up, man? You going to let me play?" And he had the reddest teeth I've ever seen. The thing was, I was like, oh, he's been drinking like some kind of red frozen drink.
Yeah.
So anyone but I mean,
Bay Breeze.
right. He's got a frozen fucking Bay Breeze. So anyone that comes up to you with red ass teeth. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, this motherfucker's been on the beach all day.
Yeah.
Drinking whatever fucking red drink that they're drinking.
Yeah. Call the cabs.
I was like, God damn it, man. And I was like, yeah, it's cool, man. Whenever we get back on, I'll play a song or two, and then I'll let you on. I just got to clear it with my other guy or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, Eric, man, I don't want this guy to play, but fucking.
He was like, he might eat one of us if I don't.
Yeah, but like he's a fucking big boy, whatever. And I didn't even really care about that. Like, but I was still just like, I knew if I let him play, he wouldn't stare at me for the rest of the night.
Yeah, which you want to get that.
I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. One fucking song, whatever. So he comes up, he's got a wedding ring on. I was about to tell him, hey man, fucking don't play my cajon with your wedding ring on, and he starts popping it off before I can even say anything.
Oh.
I was like, okay, so he's got some awareness.
He knew what it was called.
He knew what it was called. He was like, man, I got a cajon too, but it's not as nice as that one, this and that. I was like, cool, man, whatever. So he goes up and plays. He's not good. He's not bad either, whatever. Thing's over. His buddies all fucking tip us an extra like $20 a piece.
Oh, nice.
Just for letting him fucking do that. And I was like, man, I really thought fucking bad about this dude. Well, they left before I could like talk to him again, whatever. Cut to the next night, I'm at work, and this group shows up, and it's Red Teeth and fucking all of his fucking buddies.
Red Teeth Cajon player.
It sounds like a fucking Norwegian like Viking, like Red Teeth, the big.
Yeah. I mean, the way you described him too, like he actually been eating blood all day.
He had been chewing on children's brains all day or something like that, babies' brains. So all his fucking buddies show up. They're like, hey, Nordic P. Like, they remembered what fucking Eric called me, like, one time. He go, hey, Nordic P, what's up? I was like, Nordic J, am I right? And we ended up having a really good fucking time. And I was like, oh, these dudes are, like.
Yeah.
But it's not often that I confuse a true Darren for.
With the stare, like with the.
It was, man, the thing was, I know that this is what I predicted at least. Wherever they were drinking the things that made their teeth red.
Yeah.
They had went to their hotel or their condo or their Airbnb or whatever, had gotten showered up, and this was their very next stop.
Right, yeah.
So when he came in, he was just like, he was pressing the $20 thing. He was like, I put $20 in there. I want to play your thing. And I was kind of taken aback by it. But what I realized was he just didn't understand. He was like, he was so happy to like have the opportunity. Like, it's not often you see a cajon in a lot of places and people playing.
I still don't know what it looks like.
It's a fucking box. You know what I mean? It's my cheap way of playing drums whenever I can't play actual drums. It's nice.
Yeah.
And I still get paid for it.
And you want
like
to get chafed really
drums.
well.
Yeah, and then I fucking put on the chafe, baby. It's like a chafing dish. And it's not a crock pot. It's a chafing dish. So I just think the novelty of him seeing one and being like, oh,
You just got excited.
Yeah. So he was like, he figured the only in was like cash exchange.
And he was right.
I mean, he kind of was
If he'd
right.
been like, can I play that? You'd have been like,
Kinda, but if I'd have spoken to him for a little bit, he'd been like, and he'd have been like, oh, I have a cajon, I'm really trying to learn it and this and that or whatever. Then I would chit chat with him about it and be like, hey, you know what? If Eric says it's okay and you want to play with him, then I'll give you a shot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
What song did he play? Is there a song we would know?
It was, he's hitting a box, so it didn't matter what song it was necessarily.
It sounds like beating on a desk in school.
But it kind of is, except it's got snare strands in it. So it's literally a box.
So where you hit it, it makes a different noise.
Yeah, so I cut my hand, and if I hit it in the middle, it gets a bassy sound. I put a kick drum mic in the back of it. Boom, boom, boom. And then on the top, you can hear the snare strand. So it's boom.
Okay.
Whatever. So the different places you hit it, but he was just like, but it was Call Me the Breeze, but like an upbeat version of it.
So he was making it even more upbeat.
He was, yeah. So like, you can tell with people who don't play all the time, like tempo fluctuation is a huge thing. So it's like, he's like, call me the breeze. I can't.
And they're like, hey,
chill it out, man. Because I can get
this is a beach song. Calm down.
Just like when you do your Darrens and Karens, I go to 1.5 speed too. Sometimes whenever I get excited,
I just stay at 1.5 speed when I'm doing. I get too
I live
excited.
1.5.
I'm reliving the trauma of my Karen or Darren. Speaking of which, so I yet again have a Karen over the age of 150.
Oh wow!
It's going to be a regular thing for me because
not in a wheelchair this time.
Not in a wheelchair. She walked in. I let her walk out.
Damn.
So, yeah, it was. There's 7 people.
I'm glad I haven't heard this yet too, because you told me like your note for it. Is
I showed you my giant note about this lady.
It was like 2 scrolls on a fucking.
So it's a 7 top. So when I know I'm going to get the Grat, I'm going to be a little. I'm going to be nice no matter what, but I can have a little more leeway to be like, tone it down, lady.
Tone it down just a little bit.
So there's 7 of them. 2 of them get there first. They're cool. Whatever. The last couple that shows up is Karen and her wife. Well, Darren with a lowercase d. He wasn't super Darren, but he was there a little bit. And so they're...
You said Karen and her wife, so we're...
And her husband,
gay?
I'm sorry, her
Okay.
husband. And so, no, they were too old to be gay. Like, she would have been... She
She'd have
definitely...
been hung
Yeah, they lived in the
for being
landings.
gay back
They
in
lived
her
in the
day?
landings.
Gotcha.
And so they sit down, they're there for... The whole group's there for like 10 minutes. I got everybody wine, except for one person. I'm waiting for the wine from the bar. And she's like, my wine? I'm like, yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. They have to give it to me before I can give it to you. And so she just stares at me while I wait, and I look at her and just kind of stare at her.
How far away from
Oh,
her
I'm like
are you?
7 feet from her, and I'm standing next to the bar just deep.
So you're next to the bar.
I'm giving her the Eric the
table
Red
just
Teeth
happened-
stare.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And she puts the bottle on the bar, and I pick it up, and I walk in the back. Just because I'm like, quit staring at me. Like, I'm gonna
Maintaining
get you
eye
your wine.
contact, though?
Yeah, I walk away. I go open it, and I come back. I pour her a glass, whatever. I leave. I come back. 2 people have spilled their wine on the table. And I'm like, oh.
And I doubt you have like wobbly tables.
No,
there.
I use like things to
shim it up.
stabilize. I shim it up. I make sure that the 3 tables are connected or flat. When they sit down, they're flat. Now, if they move them, that's on you. Don't lean on a table. Like sit down. Be nice to the table. And so one guy had put his wine on the crevice and had pushed and it had flipped over. So I wasn't in the room when it happened. So somebody else got him some linens and stuff
So
to kind
no
of cover.
cloth on there?
So yeah, it's cloth and then paper. We do butcher paper on top.
Gotcha.
So that's covered, but like it makes a mess quick. So I come back in and I'm like, here's 15 napkins. Like I want them. I remake a placemat for the one lady, and then Karen, her wine was not touched, but she demands that I now give both of them a new glass of wine. This is $15 a glass. Like you don't.
Hers didn't spill.
Hers didn't
and
spill.
hers is still in the same.
Hers is fine. But she demands I give them both another glass of wine. She's like, well, fill their wine back up. I'm like, yeah, they can buy another glass of wine. Do y'all want to buy another glass? And the lady's like, no, it's fine. I'll wait. And the guy's like, it's fine. I'll wait. I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, no, you need to give them some wine for free. I'm like, ma'am, I can't give away wine when someone makes a mistake.
Yeah.
Like
it's not an ice cream shop.
Yeah. Well, if you buy a bottle of wine from the liquor store and walk outside and drop it, they're not going to give it back to you.
Like, it's not an ice cream shop. If you're a kid and you drop a fucking scoop of ice cream outside the shop,
Yeah.
I'll give you another scoop.
Yeah, I'll give you another scoop in my ice cream shop days. And
But
so,
not
a glass of wine. Like you're an adult.
That's weird.
So
That's weird to expect that. I wonder where
Right. So I'm at this point she's talking. I'm not talking to her. I'm ignoring her and talking to everybody else.
Oh, and this is before the food is ordered?
This is before I've told the specials now. So I'm talking to someone at the bar in a kind of a loud voice to get their attention. And I turn around and her husband's like, don't talk to us that loud. I'm like, all right, just relax, man. It'll be fine. So I start telling the specials, and thank the Lord, a guy at the end table goes, I can't hear you. Speak up. I'm like, fantastic.
my man.
So I
made a friend.
get a little bit louder.
Yeah.
Tell the specials. Karen and husband are a little perturbed. I go around and get the order. She's the last one. She complains to me about something she had last time she was here that was bad, like 5 months ago. She's like, well, I got this dish. It didn't taste right. I'm like, well, ma'am, we got a new chef now.
Right.
Got a new guy on the saute. It's going to be a lot better. Well, if it's not, then I'm like, ma'am, why don't we order it? You get it. You don't like it. I'll fix it then.
we'll get you something else.
And she continues
Or
to
don't order it.
pontificate upon
Yeah.
the previous problem. And I'm like, did you bring it to your server's attention? She's like, well, no, I just didn't want to say anything then. I'm like,
Well, then why say it to me now?
yeah, I wasn't a part of this deal. So,
Because you would have remembered these people if.
oh, I would never forget her.
Yeah,
ever,
right,
ever,
yeah.
ever.
And now you won't
again.
ever forget
Oh,
her,
no,
yeah.
I won't. And so, appetizer comes out. She orders the steak tartare for dinner. Now, steak tartare is it's raw beef with a raw egg on top.
With the egg yolk or.
It's the egg yolk on top.
Yeah.
And then it's got capers and onions already mixed in with it, and then you add the rest of the ingredients to your own leisure. And so she asked if it's pre-mixed, and I said, well, part of it is, and it's like the way it's always been. She's already claimed to be a regular customer for a decade, so it's like the same way it's always done it. We just have it on the menu now, and it's not as a special. That comes out. She's not really getting after it too much, and she goes, I hate to complain, but
No, you don't.
And
You don't hate to complain.
my eyes got real wide. I'm like, this is the 5th complaint she's mentioned during this meal. 'Cause I'm counting. After 3,
You sure don't
I'm in
hate
the back
it.
typing out what she's been saying already. I'm like, she's going to make the Karen. And this is like, as soon as she said that, my eyes got wide. I'm like, well, at least I got my Karen of the week. She goes, these crostinis are too crispy and taste old. And I'm like, well, a crostini is toasted bread that's usually a day old.
Yeah, it's the day-old bread
that's
that we toast.
reused to do that. She's like, they just don't taste right. I'm like, all right, well, there's other bread on the table. Do you want to use that? She's like, I guess. I'm like, all right, so I go get some. Chef makes her fresh crostinis.
Right.
Takes a few minutes. I bring them out. And she's like, there's fat in this, and the steak's not really chopped well enough. And I'm like,
Is the tartare the same thing that she had the complaint about before?
no, it was about something she didn't even order that her husband ordered, and he loved it, thank God. It was about the trout, which is our most popular dish. No one ever complains about it. He enjoyed it, thank Jesus.
Sure.
And so she starts complaining about the consistency of the chopping, and it's the same as it's always been.
Right, yeah.
Same it is everywhere you get tartare, and I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, do you want something else? Like, everyone's done eating. It's just her. She's like, no, put it in a box.
How is everyone else at the table reacting to her? Like,
she
this bitch
is
again?
basically being ignored. Like, her and her husband were set at the end, I think, for a reason, because they're just, everyone's just so friendly and so nice.
Okay,
And
so she's the outlier. She's the anomaly.
She is the worst.
within the group.
And like I tried to, like I have that big pepper grinder I told you about. So when
Yeah.
I
You
peppered,
tried to do the
I
fucking
brought
song
that
and
over,
dance?
and I tried to, and I like went right to her first. I'm like, hey, Pepper, and like
She wasn't having it.
no, and like this one guy was like, oh man, look, he brought the big gun out. His tip's going up right now, and I'm like, because they're all so loving me.
And they're probably all overcompensating a little bit
For
because
her.
they know that she fucking sucks.
And so it's a split tab. You know, there's 3 couples and 1 single lady.
right.
The guy whose glass of wine spilled, who when I gave him the next glass of wine, I fattened that thing up for him.
Sure, yeah.
Because he was cool. But like, I'm not going to give you a free one. So he buys the other lady's tab that's single, whatever. He tells me that as I'm walking away. I'm like, all right, I got it. So I bring it back. She goes, you made sure you put her on his tab, right? I'm like, yeah.
Bruh.
I got this.
I got you.
And she's like, so I walk away. She's asking him, did he get it right? Is all the right things on there? I'm like, why are you trying
Wow.
to dig up problems,
Figure
Karen?
it, like find a fucking
You're
problem
trying.
here.
You left the house and we're like, last time my husband's trout wasn't good, so I'm gonna fuck this whole meal experience up for everybody else.
Not only for the fucking person serving me, but all the people at the table who are
Yeah.
like, this might be the last dinner I ever have with these fucking people.
Oh, I mean, she was old. Like she was almost like, I'm gonna need to hold a credit card in case you expire during the meal. Old.
No
Like
shit.
she was real old, and I'm like, why
was
would
she
you?
super Southern?
Not particularly, but she was.
I just thought with age, like things would change a little bit. You're just like,
it's usually a lot of either or. Like they're very happy to be old and alive,
Or they're just stank
or
as
they're
fuck.
just bitter as hell, like bitter as hell.
were the rest of the people at the table around the same age, or?
Yeah, she was probably the oldest one at the table. So I get like if you had a poor experience, but don't take it out on me. I didn't have anything to do with that. I also don't cook food.
Right? Yeah.
Like when you're like, well, it better be right. I'm like, I'm gonna bring it to
I
you.
don't have any control over that. And look, like when I go to the kitchen, I'm like, hey man, someone said this was fucked up last time, whatever. Like, will you just make a point to make this one
Right, and I went and talked to the
and
to
shit
the
happens,
saute
like,
guy.
yeah, whatever.
And was like, hey, this guy said last time his trout
Yeah.
wasn't great, and he's like, all right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Made it the same way he always does. Guy loved it.
right.
I
So-
brought him the prettiest one of the 3 I served to that table.
But the thing is, like, they think that you won't go back and tell the kitchen, like, hey man, fucking,
unless they really get on me.
Exactly. And I'm like, look, man, I want this to go as fucking
Yeah.
smoothly as possible. So do you think I'm withholding information
Yeah.
from the kitchen?
Yeah, I don't talk to those guys. They're weird. Yeah, no, I go back, and our saute guy is our new sous chef, and his name is Marco. Shout out to Marco. He is actually listening.
Oh, nice. Hello,
yeah.
Marco. Thanks for listening.
Marco and I connected on 10,000 Candles in the Wind. Bye, bye, little Sebastian.
Yeah, my Ron Swanson day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that came out on vinyl. Vinny texted me and was like, "They just released it on vinyl." So I
Fuck off. I didn't
walked
know
around
it was on
staff
vinyl.
trying to find someone that knew about this song, and it was him when he was just a line cook. And I was like, "He's like, I'm about to buy that shit right now." And Marco's a great guy. He's patient. It's his first time as a sous chef. He got promoted because he works hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Comes in early, leaves late. Like he's a great worker.
Yeah.
And he does it. And he runs the saute better than anyone we got right now. And he treats every dish the same.
Yeah.
And he asked in the night, hey, how did everybody like this?
Yeah.
I got bogged down at this time. Was this okay? And I'm like,
Right.
thank you for caring. My chef does the same thing right now. And it's nice when they want to know
Yeah.
your feedback. And because I've been there a while, like chef will ask me outside some days. He's like, hey, I want to talk to you about this and this. What are people asking about?
Yeah, yeah.
But they both want to make Circa better.
Sure.
And I love that because we had a chef for 12 years before that. And he, after 12 years,
He was
you're
just kind of like, whatever, I don't care.
yeah. He was like, I don't mean to complain, but
But typically when customers have bad experiences, well, just with a particular dish or not even the full experience, but if a dish comes out bad, it's like normally it's because like whoever's cooking it, like that's at a time of the night where they're super
Yeah.
bogged down and they have 9 of those to make.
And if you've had it 5 other times and it's been
Right.
great,
then why
is the one time the outlier?
And if you do want to bring up the one time, you bring it up on the night that it happens.
you email 5 Guys and say you only got one
Yeah, I
patty.
only got one patty.
And guess what? My dad went to 5 Guys a few days later.
And they're like,
'cause
Mr.
they
King,
took care of me.
Mr. King, we got you fucking, we
Here
got
you
your
go, it's a
third patty.
quadruple
for you.
stack. Now, when your son comes back, he only getting half a patty because we gave them all to you.
But how often because like most of my Karens or Darrens that I typically have, it's either just it's a, well, I don't, I'm bartend, so I don't have a lot of groups like, like tables or whatever.
Right.
So like, how often is it like one person at the table fucking sucks and the other 6 are amazing, and then they start compensating for the one.
So come time for the bill, I gratted them, but there's a line.
I was going to say, so there was a group of them, but they had, one couple had one
Right.
bill, one couple had another.
Right, and then one guy, a couple, and then they picked up
But
the
you
third.
still gratted them.
Yeah, as a group.
Gotcha.
So if there's 6 of you or more, I'm going to grat you unless I know you.
Yeah.
Every time.
But do
'Cause
you
it's
grat
safe.
each individual ticket, or do you grat the whole thing and then
I
split
grat it
it
in the beginning and then I split it.
Okay, gotcha. Just one.
When I put it in the first drink, I put the gratuity in because I'm not going to forget.
Right.
But if there's a line, it's like the gratuity. There's a line to add more.
Gotcha.
And everybody added more, but Karen and Darren.
But her.
She didn't pay. He did, but he didn't leave anything extra. But everybody else, I mean, it's $5, and $10. But that extra $20 tells me you're all cognizant that she sucks.
she sucked.
And sometimes I have the other person, like if it's just a couple, the person that pays
Yeah.
will be like, "A little extra here on the."
They know they fucking Costanza that shit. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know she's not gonna tip them. And like a lot of times, like I probably doesn't happen at your place a lot, but people will walk. They'll do the whole ceremony of walking out with the group,
Oh yeah,
and then one of the people will walk back in.
and throw you a little.
And they'll be like, "Hey, sorry about fucking so. Here's $20 more, $20 more dollars."
Oh, if I'm out to dinner with somebody I don't know that well or trust, like
And
we're all leaving, I'll kind of go open that book up and be like, "There's 20," just to compensate for that person, because like especially if the service was good,
Right.
Like I want you to know that like you did a great job.
even if they didn't treat the servers bad,
They just didn't
But
tip
if they're
them.
just not, if they're not
Like,
tipping correctly,
Tuesday night I had 4 industry tables, so I had a bomb
Fuck
ass
yeah.
Tuesday. And the last one was a 4 top. 3 of them worked at the same place, and then one of them was like a hair and nail salon person or whatever, according to her credit card. So the 3 of the people that were industry tipped me 30% or better.
Yeah.
And she tipped me 20 straight, which is fine. But when I got the bill, I could tell I was like, she doesn't work in the industry.
industry, hairdresser.
Which is fine.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a normal
Whatever,
tip.
yeah.
If they had a good experience and like, but then they're like, next time we come in, we're requesting you. I'm like, thank you.
But see, that's the balance of everything. If everyone just tipped, not even like the minimum, but like just like the
Yeah.
20% ish,
Yeah.
you're gonna get made up for by the people you know or the other people that are in the fucking industry.
Oh yeah, I had my first table that night was a 4 top, a couple with two like, I don't know, the kids were like 17 to 20, I can't really tell. And she was a little difficult in the beginning, but in the end, she was like, hey, come here. Palms me $100 cash on a $220 ticket. And she goes, I don't like the government. Here you go. And I'm like, I
Fucking-
love you.
So talking about
Now, one of those 20s was stuck to another one, so she may have meant to give me 80,
might-
but I don't
Yeah,
know.
80 round up to 100, whatever.
that's fine.
Like, there's this. I meant to mention. I forgot to put it in my notes, but we can end on this. But speaking of like 17 to 20-year-olds, buddy of mine that I work with, he came up to me. He's like, "Listen to this shit. My first table today. It's a mother, father, and a daughter. And they were like, could we have one Bud Light, one Bay Breeze, and one Sea Breeze, whatever?" And he was like, yeah, I need to see her ID. They're like, oh, well, she's 20. I was like, oh, well, I can't serve her.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, see, we're from Ohio. And the thing is, as long as you're with your parents in Ohio, then, you can serve them. He's like, yeah, I understand that. This is Georgia.
Yeah, I can't do that.
That's not what it is here. She's like, well, why couldn't you just do it? He's like, now that I know that she's not
Yeah, I definitely
21,
can't. And
I
you're
definitely
only getting
can
2
now.
drinks each.
And also, this isn't about like my preference to like, I don't like, she might be a fucking sweet girl and not make any fucking trouble or whatever, but like the place that I work could lose its fucking liquor license.
Yeah.
I could lose my fucking job
And pay a $1,500 fine.
or whatever. And he argued and like, he's like, and they just kept fucking pressing me about it. I was like, that's when you fucking walk away from the table and ignore them for
Yeah.
a little bit. Cause like,
Let him calm down and
if
then
I was
come back.
if I was a fucking parent, you know what I mean? First of all, I'd be like, let me get 3 so-and-sos. And if they ask for the ID, I'd be like, look, she's 20, but we're cool. Like, you can do it or not.
Right, and then maybe it happens.
And if you're just
And
fucking
maybe it
cool,
doesn't. But to like argue with me, like I'm going to change my mind
to
now.
continually argue and try and think you're going to talk me into it, it's great.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
I mean, God, people want to argue with you into something and think they're going to get what they want if they ask you 3 times.
They think the magic number is asking you the
Yes.
third fucking
Yeah,
time.
I get that all the time. They're like, "Do you have this?" I'm like, "No, not right now." They're like,
Hey, well,
what do you have? What about this?
Hey, man.
Pasta is the one we get all the time. They're like, "You have pasta?" I'm like, "It's a French restaurant." They're like, "Yeah, pasta." I'm like, "That's Italy."
That's Italian.
And they're like, "But like, you got it for kids, right?" I'm like, "I don't." They're like, "I know, but like, you can."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I can go to the store and get macaroni for you." No, man, like we don't have this.
And if we did, I would fucking give it to you.
I want you to be quiet.
I want you to. I want to end this.
Yeah. Give your kids French fries. It'll be all right.
I'll let your fucking 20-year-old daughter drink if you'll just get the fuck out of here.
I've let somebody slide in before. I was like, I'm not sure that kid's 20. I think I talked about it on the first podcast.
I have too.
When I was like, you know what?
I have too, obviously, but that's it. It's just like it's
Situational. And they were
it's
really
situational.
cool. They ordered a $220 bottle of wine. So I was like,
Right, yeah. Hey, you know what? Let her fucking drink.
yeah. Well, that was because if I poured him a glass, then they're going to get another bottle of wine. So
Actually, the last time it happened, it was mother, father, brother, sister. The brother, he was around, you know.
yeah, it was close-ish.
But they ordered one for the daughter as well. So I was like, I need to see the daughter. I was just like, I did the fingers to the daughter.
Yeah.
She gave me her ID.
Probably a better way to say than I did the fingers to the daughter.
hey, I did the fingers to your daughter. She gave me her ID. I looked at it. I was like, I don't need the dude, the brothers,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just and it's not necessarily that I'm like a fucking stickler necessarily about certain shit like that, because like I know that
When you're with your parents,
you're
probably going to behave.
You're probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if the parents are like, "Hey, we're going to fucking slick this fucking, we're going to like outsmart the bartender or fucking or run one by him," it's like, "Nah, man, like that's not the way to approach it."
No. Maybe they tried him up because he was younger.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh shit," because even when before he was 21, even his fucking close personal peers, we were like, "Look, man, there's a few places we can go.
Yeah.
Where if you just walk in with us, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, we've done that before. People
But there's
like,
some places I'm not gonna fucking even try and take you to because they have a certain like the quarter.
Right. Like you can't go. Sorry, you can't.
I'm not. They're just like the moment you walk in and he doesn't know you, it doesn't matter what the fuck we say.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna fucking.
I'm not gonna flip over backwards to get you a cocktail.
Exactly. But
we could go somewhere else.
But if there's a place that we can go where it will be cool, then I will. But I'm not gonna be like, "Hey man, he's my fucking friend. Why do you need to see his ID?"
I remember being young in my family reunions, and we'd go somewhere to like go out and drink afterwards, and like the kids would usually dip off. And when I was like 19, 20, I had a fake ID, and like we went somewhere one time, and I didn't bring it or didn't have it, and everyone was 25 or older, and I walked in, acted cool, no one said a goddamn thing.
Because all you gotta do is fucking like.
And I kept facial hair then, just so I would look older. It took me like a year to grow my mustache in. The bottom part of the goatee came flying right in. But this part right here was thin forever.
You're like, I'm never shaving this. I got served a drink
on it. 19, trying to get it to come in.
I got implants on my upper lip. Well, that was a good week.
That was a good week.
Fun. Even with the Bay Breeze.
Even with you know what? It was a good breeze.
We heard the ching for the first time.
Save that so we can use it later.
We're gonna overdub all those fucking chings onto all the fucking dud chings that we had before. Spotify, Instagram, P.O. Box 191, Tybee Island, Georgia 31328.
Email us
at FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com.
We still don't have a good email of a Darren, Karen, bad bar story. Give us. We want to relate it to what we're talking about. It can't be you in an airport,
right?
Person who
we want to hear your stories about what you do at your job.
Yeah, about your job or about the industry, about our industry. If you're at a restaurant and have something,
go to anchor.fm/FromBehindTheBarcast and leave us a fucking voice message.
Please do.
We'll play it on the air.
We want to hear from you.
We want to mine your content as much as we can. We've got all the content in the world.
Yes.
But we just want to include our listeners because we like you guys and we appreciate you listening.
Love you. And I want to shout out Jeffro. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jeffro.
Love you to death, buddy.
It is your birthday. Cheers. We'll see y'all next time.